Remember, every fire begins with a spark. Aloha, multidimensional friends, shifters, dreamers from all across this holographic matrix. You are back. We are back. This is Brendan, aka Skull Babylon, aka Wolf Shield, aka Mystic Spider-Man, welcoming you to another very exciting, inspirational broadcast slash podcast of Paradigm Shift Central Team Roundtable happening here for March 28th, 2019. I'm so glad to be able to be here. I'm so glad to be able to help be bringing this energy, to be sending out this signal into the matrix, to be able to connect with you, the listener, our friend, our family, our tribe. It is an honor, it is a privilege, it is an opportunity, and yeah, it's going to be a good time. So we got a lot of awesome things to be able to tell you about in terms of bringing you up to speed with the Paradigm Shift Central project, and we got some fresh new faces, and we're going to have an awesome time here talking a bit about some of the inspiration of what this project is about and how we're working together as a team and how we're making a difference in the world and how you are making a difference where you are too. But before we get started, I just want to be able to give a chance here to be able to say hello and welcome and invite my fellow shifters to be able to join in welcoming you to the broadcast. So fellow shifters who are here in the broadcast with me, I'm going to invite you guys to gently unmute your microphones, and please feel free to send some love and make some noise and say aloha to all the beautiful people joined in. So we got Brian, we got Danny, and we got Tyler. Guys, go ahead, make some noise, send some love.
Aloha! What's happening?
What's up? Yo, what up? What's good?
Yo.
Ooh. Yeah, man.
What's up? What's going on?
What's up, bro? Keeping it shifty, man. Cool, dude. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here once again. And yeah, let's get right into this. We're going to really honor your time, really want to be able to recognize that, hey, we got like busy things to do. So a podcast is really effective when it's like about 90 minutes to 2 hours, and we're going to keep within that range. Unless you guys really want us to keep it going for 5 hours, honestly, stay tuned for the dream class. Maybe we'll do the dream class will be 5 hours in the future. But first, to be able to bring you up to speed in terms of where the Paradigm Shift Central project is at and how it has continued to evolve, allow me to talk to you for a few moments, and then we'll get into talking a little bit about, well, first of all, we'll give an opportunity for the people here to be able to introduce themselves, to be able to bring themselves into the story, and to be able to talk a bit about, as a team, why a community like what we're creating, like what we have created, is so important, and what it means to be a leader, and what it means to be a shifter, and the ways that we're helping shift consciousness, and really just creating this container, the context of the team roundtable, to be able to come together, to be able to help inspire, to be able to help direct our intention and our focus towards the center as we continue to amplify that signal for all to be heard. So in terms of bringing you up to speed on the project, ParadigmShiftCentral.com is a real world interactive game to be able to help assist with the shift in consciousness. And for some of you, this may be your first time tuning in, and some of you have been tuned in for eons and eons, and it is equally appreciated for you to be here. And throughout the stages of the Paradigm Shift Central's growth, there has always been like different ways that we've been working on refining it. And where it is now, I am incredibly excited to be able to tell you a little bit more about just like how much intention we are creating, and how much potential is being generated from the potency of this tribe, from the potency of this team. And so if you haven't yet, I highly invite you to be able to go to ParadigmShiftCentral.com and be able to just check it out. I don't want to really even spoil it for you too much, but in terms of being a real world game and the gamification, I've put in like some pretty cool aspects there that allow you to be able to get brought into the context of this story. And you're okay, I'm going to spoil it a little bit for you, but part of the context, and you'll go to the website and you'll see like underneath the main video, scroll down a bit, and you'll see like there's like this message that pops up, and that message is for you. It's a signal, and you get to reply to it. And it's kind of very reminiscent of the scene from the Matrix where Neo gets that message and he's like, hello Neo, like, you know. And so you'll see this, but within this there's a little bit of a story, it's a little bit of a narrative. It's like the opening cutscene from a video game, almost from like an old style video game. But within this, what we're doing within this project, we're creating this idea, this story, this bigger narrative, that what it means to be a shifter. And basically the content, and you'll have to excuse me. I'm gonna spoil it for you a little bit, but I want you to still go to the website anyways because there's still more to be able to explore. But basically, like within this project, within the gamification of things, we're inviting people to be able to see themselves as the hero of their story, for them to be able to be the main character of their game and to realize like how magical they are and to feel the empowerment of that. Like when you're playing a video game, you know, you don't just go into the game, it's just like, oh, you're just some guy. It's like, no, you're like, you know, Captain Awesome of the Star Brigade, like X9000 or something like that. And so within the context of Paradigm Shift, when you go there, the story that we weave is basically this real story that throughout the ages, there has been this constant dance between shadow and light. And throughout all the different planets, this constant dance has continued to occur. And in the times when shadow looms, there are those who rise to meet it. There are those who bring balance. There are those who alchemize. And this is the role of the hidden archetype. And the hidden archetype is the archetype of the shifter, of the light guardian. And it is an archetype that has been hidden throughout many different forms. And we've seen this appear in modern day pop culture. And again, you'll see this on the website. And it's like, you see it in the forms of like the Jedi. You see it in the forms of the wizard, in the alchemist, the hacker, the awakened dreamer, the sacred warrior. And beyond time, this archetype is known as the light guardian. And in today's age, it is known as the shifter. And so within the project, we're inviting you to really be able to see yourself as that hero, as that archetype. And what does it mean to be a shifter? Very simply put, it means someone who is intentionally helping assist with the shift in consciousness through intentional acts of creativity and compassion. And so one of the things that we've actually done within the project to really bring some new elements to it is that we've created this basically this very, very powerful container of the core team. And so for anybody here who's watching this, and if you're interested in like getting involved with the core team, because there's a few ways to play this game, like watching this podcast, tuning into like the stuff that I post up on Instagram, engaging with the comment feed and everything like that. That's like one way to be able to be a part of this game. But to be able to go a little bit deeper, you can apply for the core team. And to do that, you apply for your shifter pass. So basically with where we are now in the project, we're creating a very intentional container. And basically, if you're someone who is dedicated and committed to helping shift the paradigms, if you're someone who wants to be able to work alongside me and other people who are intentionally working together, collaborating, leveling themselves up, stepping into their roles as media creators, entrepreneurs, that's kind of optional. You don't have to be an entrepreneur, and community leaders, and you're someone who like wants to work with the team, then go to the website, follow the signal, and apply for your shifter pass. And the shifter pass is something that is set up as a member option, and we keep it very affordable with a sliding scale of pay what you wish between $10 and $100. And this is to be able to help support the community by being able to support the ongoing value that we provide for everyone. And so you can check out more through the main website, and of course send me any questions. But again, as we're doing this is creating like such potent value. This is creating such an awesome container where everybody who's in the team, as we've introduced this idea of the application and the screening and really getting to know like who's involved, it allows me to really have like this deeper friendship with each person that we connect to. And that way, so each person who we bring into this project is someone who I'm going to be like excited to just be able to be like, yes, like this person is awesome. This person has a lot to be able to share. This person is a valued member of the team. And so again, if you feel that you would be a good fit for that, by all means, please feel free to be able to apply for the shifter pass. And we're kind of in just like an exclusive limited process. We're not just like bringing in 400 people right away. We're just kind of like bringing it in and seeing who's a right fit for the team. And again, out of this, part of the thing that you'll get access to the exclusive Discord chat, which is our Paradigm Shift Academy, where you can work alongside the team and learn together and grow together. You'll also get access to the Shifter's Guide to the Matrix, which is a new module system that I've been working on that's still under development. And through there, you'll learn about becoming a shifter. You'll learn about being able to build a community. You'll learn about media creation. You'll learn about key metaphysical principles and also advanced embodiment skills. So a lot of really cool stuff there. And side note, if you want to even just support the project in any way, please feel free to still check out the Patreon, because that's one way to be able to contribute. And of course, you can donate normally. And for anybody who's donating $30 a month, this is just like a side bonus, but it's still pretty awesome. For anybody who's donating $30 a month, once we get to a certain point in the Patreon, those people will be entered into a raffle to be able to get a giveaway for a lightsaber toy. So like, I've got lightsabers like hanging on my wall. I want more people to be able to have lightsabers. So we're going to be doing like the lightsaber giveaway as we move forward with the project. And again, as I just kind of like wrap this up, and we'll get into passing the talk and stick around, and you're going to get to meet some of the people who we got a couple people who have recently just synced up with the team, and I've been having like one-on-one talks with them, and we'll get a chance for them to introduce themselves. What you're going to be seeing in the future beyond that introduction on the website, go to the Nexus and you'll see there like all the updates there, where we're really creating this container for conscious media, and you're going to start seeing other people's content getting shared through there, and you're going to follow me on Instagram, and you're going to see people getting featured, and you're going to see us collaborating and working on videos and working on like other interviews and all sorts of awesome things that are going to bring a lot of value to your time and your involvement with the project. So that's kind of like the basis of where things are at. Again, and this is basically just the process of all of the work that has continued to go into the project, all of the different versions of the website. All of the different versions have just like continued to build from one to the other to the other. And it's just been like this constant learning process of how to be able to refine things and crystallize and bring the best out of this and really play the long game. Like that's what we really want to play, and really be able to create a space that's going to help people step into their embodiment as shifters, step into their potential as leaders. Like that is what we're doing. We are creating leaders. Because that is what the world needs. Like the world needs more leaders like you and me. So again, if you're interested in that, go to paradigmshiftcentral.com. You could literally do it while the broadcast is happening or afterwards. Follow the signal, apply for your shifter pass, send me a message if you want to, and we can go from there. Another thing I'll just mention real quick is that with the new elements of the project, we also have a new schedule that we're putting into place. And so what's new this time is that what we're doing, we're alternating between a team building circle, team roundtable circle, which is where we are now. And then next week, we're actually having our first episode of a new podcast that we're launching, which is called Leading the Shift. And Leading the Shift is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be a one-on-one interview with myself and someone else in the community to be able to give them a chance to share more about their story, to share their wisdom, and to share a bit about their services. So it's going to be like people who are specifically either like conscious media creators, or they're just doing something awesome and they have like wisdom that they want to be able to share with the community. So the next one that we got coming up next week after this is coming Thursday. You'll see the first episode, and it's going to be with our friend Ben Switzer, and he is a neurohacker. So he is a good buddy of mine, and he's got some awesome tips to just really be able to change the mindset of how we think about ourselves, how we're able to just like manage our feelings, manage our mindset, to be able to drop into meditation in new ways, to just be able to level up our focus. Some really, really cool things. So again, we're having these interviews to be able to like give you, the audience, value, to be able to help you like step more into your potential as a shifter, as a superhuman, basically. Because again, that's part of there's a few ways to look at this, right? It's like we're basically building a team of like real world superheroes, and that's where, you know, we'll talk more about that later. But again, that's where the story is just like constantly growing and constantly evolving, because we want you to feel that way too. We want you to feel like a superhero when you go out there and you're doing things like free hugs, and you're doing things like creating media, and you're doing things like leading in your community, and you're doing simple things like, you know, just like sharing compassion and connecting with people who just like need that person to be able to hold space for them. So in all the little ways that we're all helping shift the paradigm, it all matters, you know? So thank you again for being a part of the ripples that create the waves. So as we move forward with this project, I really just want to emphasize, and then I'm going to pass the talking stick, the power of tribe and the power of community, and why I'm so excited with where we are now, and to really be able to bring even more intention and integrity into this community. Like that's incredibly important for me, because for me is basically like being in this space, being in this community, being in this tribe, being a captain amongst other captains inspires me to constantly show up to be my best. And this is really, really valuable. And that's why we like want to be able to give people the opportunity to get involved with this space, because it gives you not only ongoing inspiration, but also accountability. And that's like really, really cool, because like for me, you know, like being able to wake up every morning and meditate and really getting focused and dialed in and practicing things like, you know, like energy cultivation, sexual energy cultivation, and refining my habits and focusing more on my dreams. If I was just doing that on myself, it'd be easy to just get into that mindset of just being like, oh, I could just totally slack off and no one's going to judge me because I'm the only one paying attention to me. But being a team member really gets you into this place where it's like, I want to be able to show up as the best version of myself for the team. I want to be able to enter into this space bringing my best energy, you know, kind of like thinking of it as like a sacred temple. As we enter into it with like our best self. And not to say we're 100% perfect, but we have that intention to constantly be growing and learning and everything. So that's like another really powerful thing that we're creating here together. And I'm excited to be able to share the ongoing story of how, not only how I'm growing, but how for me, it's very simple that I want to be the example of the people who I want to work with, right? Like that makes sense. Like if I want to be able to work with other people who are fucking focused and badass and like leaders and creators and like on that game of like hacking their mind and stuff like that, I have to practice that, right? Like I have to walk the walk. I have to like be exactly what I'm looking for, and that will attract that. So I'm really, really excited to be able to like be in this space where, especially having just gone through Mercury retrograde, and we're literally doing this broadcast synchronistically just as Mercury goes direct. So I think that's perfect that we've spent the last Mercury retrograde really recalibrating and getting things in alignment. And now here we are ready to blast off into this new realm together as a team. And again, I'm really, really excited to be able to share with you what else is coming next. After next week's broadcast with Ben Switzer with Leading the Shift, there's going to be a dream class. So again, you've seen those before if you're familiar with the project. And then the week after that is going to be an interview with our good buddy Nathaniel Solis. And if you haven't heard of Nathaniel Solis, he is a badass, like super awesome human who's got some amazing just like ways to be able to help change the way you think. So just tune into both of those broadcasts, any of those broadcasts, and I guarantee you'll have plenty of like, you'll shift your pants, quite frankly. You'll have a lot of those like aha moments where you'll just be like, oh yeah, this is awesome, this is valuable. So that brings you up to speed on where things are at. And again, I want to be able to remind you that if you value what we're creating here in the project, that one of the best ways to be able to support is by joining the Patreon or just by going to the donation page. We have made some slight adjustments with the Patreon. Now when you join the Patreon, you get a 25% discount key for items at the Quest item shop, which is of course items such as the free hug signs, the shift buttons, and the Light Guardian crystals. And again, you can check those out normally at questitemshop.com. And when you do join as a member of the core team, you also get the 25% off discount perk as well. So again, please feel free to go to patreon.com/Brendan Culleton. Help us reach our next team milestone of 125 active Patreon supporters. And we are currently at about 117, 118. So thank you again to everyone in all the ways that you support. Bonus shout out to those of you on the Patreon. You help make this possible. This is an amazing thing to just be a part of. And again, you know, like I think we're making a bigger difference than we even realize. And I think there's more to that will be shared, and more to that we'll see as the project continues to evolve. So right now, with where we are breathing life into this project, you know? That's a very, very powerful thing. We are creating the heartbeat. We are creating the momentum. So thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for being a part of this story simply by being here and carrying this energy and this inspiration with you. Because again, just stepping back for a second, and I want to be able to just like drop into a breath before I pass the talking stick around as I've been babbling on here for a bit. What are we really doing, you know? I've talked about this before, but we are helping. If I were to put it very simply, like, what is our purpose? Some of you may have seen a video that I posted about this recently. What is our purpose? What is my purpose? It's about helping lead people back to their heart, leading people back to the wisdom and the clarity of their heart. And through this, it's kind of like stepping them into this idea of like, aha, this reality is not as cut and dry as it appears to seem. I am more than my physical body. My thoughts create within this reality. I am a dreamer within the dream. I am incredibly more powerful than what I've previously been told. And I'm inspired to be able to take action because I want others to be able to feel this way and to be able to step into the joy and the excitement and the appreciation of this miracle that we call life that is all around us. So that is a big part of what we're doing. And we're doing that by creating media. We're doing that by speaking our truth, but we're doing that by being able to facilitate in our community, by doing things like free hugs, by planting seeds, and by continuing to commit ourselves to stepping into our own empowerment as we level up within this game, because that's the game. The game is to level yourself up and to make a difference in this world. So thank you for playing. So Cool. All right. Let's just drop into our breath here. Thank you everyone again for being a part of this broadcast. So brothers here within the chat anchoring in to that part of the divine masculine energy, at the same time really honoring the divine feminine in each and every one of us. Want to be able to just invite you to just be able to put your hands on your heart, even just for anybody tuned into this, just honoring all of the energies inside of us in this moment. And I just want you to be able to just connect with your breath. Just drop in for a second. Gentle inhales through the nose. Just relax. Gentle exhales through the nose and the mouth. I want you to just remember that you are that drop in the ocean, that you are that ocean in a drop. And as we breathe here, just for a moment, I want you to almost kind of allow the story of your ego to dissolve as we just momentarily kind of step back and feel ourselves as one consciousness. Not just an idea, but literally a feeling. So you can almost just imagine a sensation of water. A sensation of all of us just kind of being in this ocean together. Just take a moment to acknowledge that. Now slowly together, I want you to imagine just stepping above the surface of this water. And as you do, you see your form taking shape. You see the body that you are in now taking shape. And yet it is being created from the waters of the ocean. And now I want you to imagine all of us standing in a circle, just looking at each other here in this round table, in this circle. And I want you to see the light at the center of each of our chests. And I want you to acknowledge that simple idea that each of us, as many different candles, we all carry the same flame. Fire and water metaphors, just kind of putting them all into one thing right now, but that's okay. So just take a moment here, just look around the circle, acknowledge who you see, express your gratitude, express your appreciation. Feel the power of tribe, feel the power of the team. Feel the power and the purpose of being able to help anchor in the future. What is the future we are creating? You're creating one with more compassion, with more inspiration. Just take a couple breaths here in your own silence. Allow yourself to speak, allow yourself to listen. Now I want you to imagine putting your hands into the center and everyone just kind of like putting their hands on top of each other. And then I want you to look each other in the eyes. And I want you to imagine that we're like going into the championship game of a hockey tournament. And I want you to remember that this is what we've been training for, that this is what we've been working up towards, that this is what the practice is all about. Even though this is still just practice, even for the next tournament, even for the next championship, it's all just training. And I want you to just join me in sharing this mantra. Quack, 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 quack. Lift your hands up, quack, 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 quack. Go Ducks! Quack, 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 quack. God, I feel sorry for anybody who hasn't ever watched Mighty Ducks before, as I just embarrassed myself, but nonetheless. Hey, we're playing the game, guys. Emphasis on play, right? So, cool. Awesome. Open your eyes when you're ready. Bring your attention back to this moment here and now. You have risen out of the waters. You are back in your form. You're back in your being. So, awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. I'm going to be sure to just want to give a quick shout out to those of you in the live chat as well. Shout out to Robert. Shout out to Forrest. Shout out to 1111 Balance. Shout out to Quantum Queen, Jocelyn, and shout out to Pearl. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. And for those of you on Facebook, I'll have to check the chat there in a second, but shout out to everybody watching this on Facebook as well. Quick reminder that you can find this and all the recordings online at Paradigm Shift Central as well as on iTunes under Paradigm Shift Radio. Please feel free to give us a review, and if you do, send me a message and I'll send you some kind of special bonus that I haven't really thought of yet. But please feel free to give us a review on iTunes, because I don't think anybody literally has, because I never told anyone to begin with. But hey, it's never too late. Cool. All right, let's pass the talking stick around, and as we do this, let's give an opportunity here for some of the new players to be able to introduce themselves, and we'll just tell us a little bit about yourself, why being in this team, like what it means to you, and also a little bit about like what does being a shifter mean to you, and then we'll just kind of open up into some more conversation about what this is all about. So I'll pass the talking stick over to does Tyler, do you want to go first? Is that cool? Can we do that? We'll get Tyler all synced up. Cool. Sweet. All right, Tyler, passing the talking stick over for you, and there you go, man. It is in your hands. Go ahead, say hello, introduce yourself, and talk to us a little bit about what it means for you to be here right now, and even what it feels like for you to be here right now. And thank you again, brother.
Hey, thank you. It feels amazing, honestly. To be a part of a tribe that you're describing is a real privilege, and I appreciate that. The feeling here is just unity, and that is something that I feel like is a strong theme in my life this far, and that's something I definitely stand for not only my community, your community, and then I mean everyone watching's community. It's all one, really, but it's all about getting each one together first. But yeah, happy to be here. I have a psychology background. I'm still studying, but I'm able to mentor youth in my community to just kind of, unfortunately, I can't talk about things I really want to talk about just yet. Each family dynamic is very different, so I try and respect that. But I am here because I want to be a leader amongst other members of my community, maybe contemporaries my age or older, or even some younger. So looking forward to doing that and learning a lot from you.
Awesome. Right on, man. Thank you again for being here. And yeah, it's awesome just to be able to have people from all over the world. And go ahead and tell people where are you located? Where are you tuning in from? Where are you shifting right now?
I am shifting from Virginia, Woodbridge, Virginia, which is kind of a suburb of Washington, D.C.
Cool, man. And what does it mean for you to be a shifter or to be a light guardian?
I like the word light guardian. That sounds awesome. So we are the guardians of hope in the world. We're the restorers of peace, I feel. So to me, that starts on a personal level. And this far, I have tried to really hone that, you know. Showing up to your meditations in the morning has definitely been helpful. Being out amongst people in nature is an amazing thing as well. I get a lot from that. Even just a little solitude in nature is really, really helpful. A couple hours maybe, or just an hour a day, definitely kind of gives you the big picture.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And I know the other day when we were just chatting one-on-one, we were just kind of talking about you've got some like shift buttons that you've been sitting on. And did you get any of those deployed yet?
I did actually. That night I stopped by, got a little smoothie, and just kind of get. She asked for the card, and I just gave her the shift button first, and kind of made a joke out of it. And then so she was pretty already kind of down with the program, it seemed, which was good. But I also just left one in the presence of another, like at a similar table, just struck up a conversation while waiting, and just kind of left it there. That one didn't seem, too good of an idea to just hand it to. There was a kid there as well, so I was kind of, I don't know how exactly to manage this with our youth, because we have a lot of things in place in society, unfortunately, that kind of can go against whatever parents are teaching. But I like your message overall of, living from the heart. I think that's something everybody can kind of, uh, you know, adapt to, realize that that's an awesome way of being for sure.
Awesome. Sweet, man. Well, thank you again for being here, and we'll get into other introductions, then we'll just kind of like open up into other stuff. And any other gratitude that you want to just express, even for everyone out there?
I am beyond grateful for all of you watching. I'm grateful for Chief Wolf here, our other lieutenants here. I mean, really, I feel like we're going to achieve something great.
Awesome.
Like you said, this is just the beginning.
Awesome.
The ripples of the wave. So
yes,
definitely.
And actually, yeah, let me just ask you, like, what would you like to get out of your involvement with this community? How do you see it kind of either just like transforming yourself, or what opportunities would you like to be able to see come forth out of it?
Well, you talked about content creation. I definitely look forward to being a leader in that area as well. Getting some content out with people around me, some friends, maybe even other people that might want to join, similar minded individuals. But honestly, I like to think that whatever I know is great, but I know nothing in compared to what there is to know. So we have so many great people here that I could just learn from, and I look forward to that a lot, definitely.
Sweet, man. And we can talk more a bit about it later, but yeah, you are kind of, we talked about this before, but you're leaning towards the idea of like starting like a local meetup where you are as well. Is that correct?
That's right, definitely. I would think we would do weekly meetups with somewhat of a monthly project, so maybe we'll pick a good day, I guess, but it'd be nice to meet weekly, even virtually be great. But I was thinking in person, even. I know there's quite a lot of open area around here. It's not, super city like I said, it's a suburb, so we still have our nature spots. So I would be looking to do something probably during the day on the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. And then monthly projects, what I have in mind there would be, free hugs, of course. I say monthly just as a start, because I told you the other day I'm thinking about 5 individuals or so outside of myself. So be a good start.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and again, for everybody who's like tuned into this, the constant idea within this project is like encouraging you to create a community where you are. So if that's something that you feel called to, then be inspired by, even just someone like Tyler talking about the fact that they're going to do it where they are too. Because again, like that's so valuable right now. Like people need that face-to-face connection. They need something that's an alternative to just like looking at a screen all day and everything like that. They need that heart to heart. So, and they may not even know that they need it, so we got to like put that option in front of them. And that's, again, like that's where we change the world. Like we literally change the world through like one meaningful interaction at a time, one important discussion at a time. And then you might like connect with someone at your local meetup, and then that person will inspire someone else, and they'll inspire someone else. And again, like that's the power of the ripple effect. So just like the power of holding space for each other. So yeah, man, I'm excited to see what unfolds, even just in the next coming month. It'll be pretty cool to work together with you. So
awesome. Definitely, man.
Cool. Sweet. All right, Tyler, thanks again, man. And we'll make sure we'll get your notes in the show notes as well. Do you want to just tell people where they can find you on Instagram real quick for the time being?
So right now, Instagram I'm operating at is Tyler_neckmark. It is a play on my last name, which is Hickey, but I like to use that as a sign of love.
There you go.
How about that?
There you go. Awesome. So everyone feel free to connect with Tyler, and we'll get him tagged in tomorrow's Instagram story as well. So cool. All right. Thanks again, Tyler. All right.
Thank you.
We'll keep passing talking stick around, and I'd like to be able to pass it to Brian next, and then we'll pass it to Danny next, and then again we'll just kind of like open up into a little bit more discussion. And Brian, is that cool? Are you okay with going next? Give me a thumbs up. Let me just bring up your audio real quick, and go ahead, Brian. You can hear us okay?
Yep. I got
Awesome.
you.
Sweet. Well, Brian, we'll pass the talking stick over to you. Thank you again, brother, for being here. And please feel free to just share a little bit about who you are, like what your skills, what your passions are, and what about the Paradigm Shift Project excites you to be, why you're excited to be here, and how it feels. So, and where you're located.
Okay, well, my name is Brian. I'm over in Central California. Beautiful California, beautiful area. Lots of nature out here. I love getting out there and connecting back to Gaia. I am a certified Qigong practitioner and teacher. I also practice Shaolin Kung Fu for my mindfulness, meditation, been meditating for many years, energy work, chakra alignments, cleansings, various things along those lines. Looking to do what I can to help elevate the overall collective consciousness and bring about ascension and evolution and I like to say salvation of Gaia, because Gaia has been persecuted, so to speak, for so long. We need to show her the love she deserves. And we got to do that by unity and showing love and changing the mindset out there. If we continue to fumble over ourselves, I mean, we're just going to continue to repeat the same pattern. So it's time to change something and try something different. And that's what I'm hoping to spread out there. And I feel every person I connect to, that's one more person, one more spark, one more spreading of this light, so to speak. Because it's beautiful, and when you feel this, you want to share it. You want other people to experience this and this gratitude and this love that you get to feel. It's just an amazing feeling, and you think everybody should be able to feel this. It also brightens my day to bring somebody and make people smile. I've always liked to make people smile, even since I was little. So what better way to do that than to show them who they are and bring them back to themselves and bring themselves back to their soul and their source spirit. And so energy work, lots of doing that. I can do readings or any type of those different things through Instagram, through any digital chats, trying to work on spreading that vibe locally. I live in kind of a small town, USA, so we don't get that vibe as quickly as some of the bigger cities. So I'm looking to connect with people in my local community as well as online, just to spread that. Love to open a spiritual center, retreat type of things. Like I said, I live in a very beautiful area. I always think to myself, it's like, man, why this is where it should be. This is where it's at. I go out in nature and I sit and just enjoy the peace that comes with it. And meeting up with this team and with Brendan has been perfect timing. Like Brendan said, it's very interesting that it hit at the end of when Mercury, or when we went direct here. So it really seemed that everything hit at the right time for me. We connected and everything kind of just happened. And it's amazing when the universe does those things. And when you allow yourself to feel the universe and be one with that universal energy, you start experiencing the synchronicities more and more. Things start working out for you. Things just start happening for you. Those bad days become less and less. And when you do have those bad days, you're able to realize how to kind of deal with them better. You get some tool sets, which I love to share with people, tool sets that could help you to make sure those days don't happen as much. And find the joy in all the little things, because there's so many little things, so many amazing things that happen in our daily lives that we overlook. The opening of a flower, the raindrops, the fresh smell of clean rain washing over the land and cleansing the energy and refreshing the energy, life, growth, birth, things like that. So anything I can do to help bring about that.
Awesome. That's beautiful, man. Yeah, again, thank you for being here. And I wanted to just be able to pick your brain a bit and stuff. With your background in martial arts and everything like that, what do you feel how has training in martial arts kind of shifted your own paradigms. Like, what did you get out of that? And again, just kind of like any wisdom you might want to even just share with others by sharing a bit about your story.
Focus is the main thing, is learning how to focus, learning how to eliminate outside noise and stay within yourself, and balance. It's actually really amazing, because balance is what I see the key to a lot of the things, and balancing not just energy, but everything in your life. So some of the main concepts of martial arts is balance, being in your head, being in the center of your head, being active and aware of what you're going on. And so you can tie those little things. It's funny how much you can tie that into your actual life and things that happen, and realizing where you need to be. Strengthening. Once you start strengthening and you start becoming more in tune with your body, you find things, especially with the Qigong and the energy work, you can find, hey man, my neck's really been bothering me, my shoulder's tight. Well, I do some Qigong, I meditate, and I figure out, okay, hey, wow, actually it's not really, it's my shoulder, but it's this burden I've been carrying around with me. It's this thing I've been thinking about constantly, and that's what's loosening my shoulder. So I release that, I let that go. And one of the things I really like to do, one of my favorite parts that my Sifu taught me, is you imagine things in your meditation as bubbles. So you see a little bubble, you say, okay, here's something I don't want. I don't need this anymore. I'm going to let it go into a bubble and let the bubble float off. And as it floats off and gets to a safe distance from you, you can then pop that bubble and release the energy there and allow it to return to its source. And then you also, while doing that, can find where the energy came in to your body. You say, oh, hey, I have a hole in my aura. I have a hole in my shield here. I need to plug that up. And it allows you to expose those areas so you better protect yourself.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I love it, man. Like, and again, like, this is like, we think mindfulness and kung fu and everything like that, like, we kind of are aware of it in our modern day context, but it's interesting to even just think about how mindfulness was literally something that would have been practiced like thousands and thousands of years ago by like the original Sifus, and just like how even then not much of it has changed, you know, like the thoughts, maybe our thoughts are like a little bit busier today, but still the principles and the practice and the coping mechanisms are tried and true, you know, because they come back from very ancient roots. So it's very, very cool.
I see it as is they've been doing it for thousands of years, so obviously they got something right. They figured something out, because they continue to do it, and it continues to work. And has been brought from Qigong originated from Bodhidharma and the original Buddha. He brought it from India over to China and to the Shaolin monks. And then they took it from there, elevated it to the five forms, and then that elevated out to the Shaolin Kung Fu and the 5 animal Kung Fu, which then became really the basis for a lot of the different forms of martial arts, which you just get into the history there, you realize how deep it is and how much there is to it, and how many people that you look at, or a lot of people look at in the community as wise, or in history that are wise, that have practiced similar methods. And then you break it all down and you realize, yeah, there's lots of different forms of martial arts, lots of different forms of things, but they all are interrelated. Just like bases of, I hate to touch on, but like a religion. If you look and break down all religions, they all really have the same basis. They all have really the same roots. And that's what you're looking at, is getting those roots and finding what the root is, everything is, so you become as natural and close to your source as possible.
Awesome, man. And again, I know there's a lot more to talk about that, and I'm looking forward to just being able to learn more about that personally from you. And that's the beauty of being able to work on a team, is the idea that each of us is bringing forth like the knowledge that we've been acquiring over these many, many years. Each of us, again, within the context of this being a real world game, we kind of got like our own individual archetype. So you're kind of like carrying this like very like ancient Sifu archetype naturally in you. And maybe this isn't even the first lifetime that this has been a part of your path, and now here you are bringing it into like the modern day age. And so I want to be able to pass it over to Danny in the next little minute. Before we do that, though, I just want to be able to acknowledge that there's another player who's with you in the house, your son. And I did just want to be able to like kind of ask you in the context of, why being involved in this project, why stepping into your role as a shifter or the light guardian, your leader, why is this important for you from the perspective of like being a father and literally bringing in like the next generation into this world? That how does that kind of like play a part of your story?
If we don't leave the future for a better place, the planet as a better place for our children, what do we have? We have to teach them to always be better. I always say that you always see, a lot of times you see people that have little clones of themselves running around, and that can be good or it can be bad. But I always think of, no, I want my children to be better than I was. I want them to learn things that I didn't know. I want them to know the things I didn't know when I was their age. I want them to learn from my mistakes so they don't have to go through them again. And if I'm not conscious of my own being and my own self, how am I able to ever teach them and make them better? And then that just, we're raising the next generation of light workers. We're raising the next generation of salvation. And if we start with them, tomorrow could be a much more beautiful day. And we can, their minds, they know nothing but love. They're taught hate, they're taught separation, they're taught all those different things. So if we let them just be and let them expand and let them express themselves and become the beautiful spirits and souls that they're supposed to be, then we've done our job, I feel.
Totally awesome, man. Well, dude, thank you again for stepping into that and letting it be like a source of empowerment for you. Again, even for myself, like I'm not a father yet. Yeah, I'd love to be a father at some point, but absolutely a big part of the reason why I wanted to be able to create this project is literally just to be able to help create something that not only our children can be able to be brought into, and this is like kind of a crazy out there idea and stuff like that, but hey, might as well put it in there just for fun, but to be able to theoretically create a future that we ourselves could reincarnate into. Maybe, I mean, if we're playing within the context of that, why not and stuff. But absolutely, 7 generations back, 7 generations ahead, it's incredibly important to just be able to, do as much as we can, do as much as we can in a way that is honest and noble and virtuous, so that those who come after us will be able to just, move beyond the cycles that don't need to be repeated and to be able to live in the ways that we can only imagine. So they deserve it, so we're doing it, man, because we're speaking it and we're acting on it and we're aligning with it within our heart. So again, man, thank you for being here. Do you want to any other, obviously there's a lot more to talk about. Go ahead and just kind of mention where people can find you on Instagram. We haven't really gotten into a bit of like your media skills and stuff like that, but just kind of mention that, and then just any sort of gratitude or wisdom that you would like to share for the people tuned into this.
Okay, you guys can find me at Ascended Panda on Instagram, or hashtags in Panda Movement, a movement I started to help raise consciousness. And I'm just putting it out there. I try to put out as much source messages as I can out there. So go out there and check it out, and definitely looking forward to collaborate with this team. I think you guys are onto something here, and I think everybody tuning in, I'm grateful for all of you, and I hope to collaborate and meet you all as well, because that's the only way we're going to change this and change the mindset is coming together. So I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for meeting you. I'm grateful for this opportunity here to express myself and come out of my shell a little bit. And I'm grateful for all the people that want to do better and are willing to raise their game, raise that level, and become better and spread that love vibe.
Totally, man. Awesome. Dude, thank you again, Brian. I really enjoyed just being able to chat with you, and I look forward to being able to do it more. So much love, brother.
Excellent. Much love, man.
Awesome. Namaste. Awesome. So cool. All right. So I just want to give a quick shout out to those of you who may be tuning on Facebook in the fly. I've been kind of like doing some stuff behind the scenes here. If you're on Facebook, please feel free to share this broadcast with your friends. And if you are perhaps tuning in on Facebook and maybe it's your first time, be sure to check out the info in the video, including the subscribe button for my YouTube channel where you can watch it right now on YouTube, and also lots of other stuff, the Patreon where you can support and get some cool perks, and most importantly, the main website, paradigmshiftcentral.com, where you can sync up and explore more and connect with the team there. And there's like literally hundreds and hundreds of hours of awesome inspirational content there. So be sure to check it out. And yeah, quick plug, if you haven't seen the Journey to Lucidity movies, feel free to go check those out. Those are some cool full-length documentary movies that I've made about a transformational festival in California. So feel free to yeah, do that. Cool. All right. So again, within the context of what we're doing here, we'll pass over to Danny in a second, but I really do want to just be able to remind everyone that, you know, this is about practice. This is about being able to practice showing up in this space and talking and vocalizing, and not even so much just like talking, but also allowing ourselves to drop into our heart so that the words just kind of flow and things just kind of come naturally, and we're just speaking our truth and we're speaking about our inspiration. So we do this here so that we can continue to do it further and beyond. So Danny, I'm ready to pass the talking stick over to you. I think you're ready too. So Danny, allow me to pull up your microphone, and there we go. So Danny, brother, welcome back. Honored to be able to have you here. Sounds good. The test is confirmed. And so passing the talking stick over to you, man, please feel free to just introduce yourself a little bit, tell people where you are, and you know, like what it means for you to be here as a part of the team, and what being a light guardian means to you, and anything else you'd like to share.
Okay. Well, my name is Danny Ruiz, aka Tiferet, aka Violet Phoenix. And I'm currently located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And for me, being here, being a part of a team of shifters out there, expanding consciousness, it honestly, for me personally, it helps to hold me accountable and to really go out there and like being a part of a team encourages me to express more of my authentic truth by being
Breathe into it. You got this.
Sorry.
Dude, sorry. No, it's all good, man.
Just the nerves and the anxiousness.
Dude, no, totally, man. Like, we are here to be able to like push through that, and I have no problem just being able to like help hold space for you, because again, man, like I know like each of us is a fucking badass in our own ways, and I know you're a badass too, man. And I mean, again, you know, like I know like a lot of you, like a lot of like your expression even like comes through like your dance, and I see like your posts on Instagram and everything like that, and you're very kind of like tapped into a lot of like the dream space and like the metaphysical, like even like, you know, ancient cultures and things like that. I mean, again, you know, like how do you feel that just kind of helps like guide you in your purpose and just kind of go ahead. Yeah. See,
if you're familiar, like we're all familiar with the chakras, I feel personally all of my energy is really upper chakra. It's really in the crown, the third eye. And my biggest challenge living here in this earthly existence is really learning how to take that knowledge up here and really ground it into the physical reality. So becoming a better communicator, becoming better at articulating my message and sharing my truth and getting that knowledge out there for people to benefit from, and find others that really resonate with that kind of information, you know. And that's what it means to be a light guardian, to be somebody who literally is someone who brings light and shines that light in the darkness, to be that candle flame that goes out and helps breathe and light other people's fire, you know. So I mean, yeah. And being a part of a team like this really helps me to show up like you've said, because otherwise it can be a really isolating and alien feeling. It's really isolating feeling like you're the only one who cares about raising the frequency and expanding consciousness, and being a part of a team of like-minded individuals who also share that purpose and that passion of inspiring and uplifting others to become their better version makes me want to really chase after it, instead of, you know, sulk in my own misery of feeling like I'm the only one who essentially cares about uplifting humanity, you know. because most people just want to sit at home and play football. They don't understand, the supernatural, and just being somebody who is just a presence and leads by example, by becoming your own best version of yourself and leading by example by just being a presence.
Totally, dude.
I don't know if any of that's making sense.
Dude, that's good, man. Like, that's good. Like, I mean, even just doing that, you're just like, okay, like, this is like you're hearing yourself talking, you're just like, yeah, okay, that is what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, even for you, like, I mean, I feel, for you, like, when you're dancing, like, how does that feel? Like, how does that feel? Like, that's like you very much like in your heart. So, I mean, I feel like a part of you is kind of like looking to kind of like bring that out into more so other people can share it. Like, honestly, like, dude, like if I were like walking down the street and you were like dancing with your finger lights on a street corner, I would just be like, yes, dude, like you're fucking rocking it, man, like fucking fellow Jedi. Like, but yeah,
Hell
man, like with your dancing and stuff, like how does like even just something as simple as that, knowing that like other people are going to hear this and be like, oh, I should probably dance more. How do you feel dancing is something that helps you kind of like tap into your own spirituality,
Okay, so for me, language has always been this kind of barrier for me. And just music and dance is something, for me, it's this language that just transcends any kind of human understanding, And I'm not, like, when it comes to meditation, I'm not the kind of person that can just sit in a Vipassana and just, dancing is this kind of movement meditation for me. And whenever I'm doing my finger dances, it's how I personally enter flow state. And you hear all these channelers talking about flow state and dropping into that kind of like theta gamma brainwave state. That's how I do it personally, through listening to music and dancing and lining up all those intricate sounds with each individual movement. And I like to think of my dancing as like transmitting these kind of star codes for other people to download, because if people feel uplifted by watching me dance and share my personal truth through dance and music, then that's how that also raises my vibration, and it helps other people raise their own frequency. So that's kind of like how I feel more just myself.
Yes, like that, like, dude, like, honestly, like, for me, dancing is also incredibly important, and it wasn't something that I like really started getting into maybe until like, a little bit later on into my growth as an adult and stuff like that, and it coincided with my own kind of like shift in spirituality. But eventually it kind of got to the point where for me, like, I saw dancing as almost like this like sacred ceremony where the dances I was doing was like bringing energy into the field around me. It'd be kind of like similar to like, like doing like a mantra or an om or anything like that. But like when I'm at like a club or some sort of conscious dance party, I mean, I don't go to like regular clubs and stuff or whatever, but like when I'm there, I'm kind of like, as I'm dancing, I'm like in a magic ceremony where I am like worshiping the earth and worshiping the heavens and worshiping myself and like sending out good vibes to everyone. And it's a very personal thing, like, and it's just like very, very magical. And man, like for anybody, like hand movements and things like that, there's this very powerful idea that like hand movements and body movements, they themselves are symbols, so within the context here, just stepping back for a second, we're talking about this because we're talking about like all the beautiful different ways that we can help shift the paradigms, that we can help, assist in the shift in consciousness. And with dance, in terms of like that, like our body through dance becomes a symbol, and the symbol itself can become like a portal for an intention, for a message. And what I'm leading up to here is the idea of like, I know so many people here have probably watched the OA, and if you're like me, you probably like binged watched season 2 recently, and I'm not going to like spoil it too much or anything, but like even in the OA, again, seriously, go watch it. It's on Netflix, or just Google it, whatever, you'll find it. But like a lot of that is like, there's these movements that they do, these hand movements, and they literally talk about the idea that it is through the dance that it opens up a portal. And so I think we have to be reminded of the idea that through our dance, we do open up portals, and literally like in literal ways and metaphysical and like subtle and obvious. I think back to the times where I've literally brought a lightsaber with me downtown, and I've spun my lightsaber like on a street corner. Like I would be doing free hugs, you know, kind of like as my Mystic Spider-Man persona. I've done this as Mystic Spider-Man and not. And for those of you who are just tuned in, my name's Mystic Spider-Man because sometimes I do free hugs dressed up as a version of myself, which is like a Spider-Man version of myself, where I'm like in my Spider-Man suit with like board shorts on and a hoodie and a lightsaber. So it's like a Jedi Spider-Man. Fucking badass, I know, right? So when I'm doing that and I'm like spinning a lightsaber, whether or not I'm in the Spider-Man suit, people see that. And it's fucking hilarious because I've done this before, like on campus, like at like a university. There was like a big like university party thing, and so there's like a bunch of people there. Maybe it's their first year in university, and they're just like, they haven't had their paradigm shifted quite just yet, and they're walking around, and then they just kind of like turn their head and they're just like, that guy's dancing with a lightsaber. Like, what is going on? And that is so cool.
It's like the biggest conversation starter.
And at the same time, they're just kind of like, there's a part of them inside that maybe like, even maybe they're kind of like that bro archetype, no judgment, but that's like still just like something to note. But there's a part of them that would just be like, what the, like, what's going on? But then like inside, they're actually saying, I wish I could communicate myself like that. Totally. I wish I could express myself with that degree of freedom.
Sometimes when I'm dancing, I get a lot of shit for it.
Yeah.
But, you know, inside, they're like, man, that's really cool. I wish I could do that. But they're like, oh, you're gay. Get away from me.
Right. Yeah. They'll just be like, oh, that's stupid because it's different or something like that. Right. So, but yeah, but again, you know, like as a shifter, this is what we talk about. This is why we talk about, you know, going out there and doing free hugs. You become that glitch in the matrix. You become that code that other people see. And on a subconscious level, on a heart level, they see it and they're just like, whoa. That has my attention. That's different. That's something I'm going to be able to remember. And that's actually going to subconsciously give me permission to begin expressing myself more. Because if some stranger on a street can like spin lightsaber or dance and express themselves, why can't I? Especially when it looks like they have something I don't, which is something like incredibly freeing and liberating and fun and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's beautiful. Again, you know, just like the way you dance and the way everyone out there, like the way we express ourselves, we need more of that. We really do. Like we are art. Our expression is art. And what is art? It is a way to be able to connect with the heart. Like you can't spell heart without art. Like, you know, like that. It's pretty obvious when you think about it. But yeah, man. But yeah, anything else related to the dance you want to say?
Oh yeah, excited. I mean, like totally, like by being your genuine expression of yourself, you also give others permission to do the same, and it also inspires them to do the same. So by seeing you be that weirdo out in public dancing with a lightsaber, they're like, okay, like I can do that too, you know, without fear of judgment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like it begins like a mob mentality, right? Like if there's enough people, you know, if there's one person doing it, then that gives permission for 2, and then it gives permission for 4, and then 8, and 12.
Up, I'm gonna stand
We've
up.
Seen that video of that guy who starts a dance party at a festival. We've all seen that. So it's like, that's life. That really is life. So again, it's just kind of, you know, it's changing the story. It's changing the narrative. Like, who told us that we're not allowed to dance out in public, right? Like, where did that even come from? So it's like allowing people to see a new story. And that is what we are doing. We are literally creating a new story through our everyday action, through the permission that we're giving people just by being ourselves and just by showing up. So yeah, it's really, really, really powerful, man. So yes. And dude, yeah, no, seriously. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you for doing that. And have you ever done it like on a street corner? Has that happened yet? Like,
on a street corner?
I don't know.
I mean, it's something I kind of do. I've been doing it so long. It's something I'm kind of doing unconsciously. So I'll be like going grocery shopping, like reaching for pickles or something, just like busting out and tuts. And people are like,
tutting,
what the heck? Like, what are you doing? You know?
It's like that'll be $5.50, sir. It's like, here you go. Is this guy a transformer? What's going on here?
Is he doing fucking Naruto?
Yeah, right?
Jutsus.
So, yeah, no, that's cool, man.
Like,
But yeah, dude, I would love to, even like off camera or on camera, just for you to do that. And again, like even if you were to do that and just like plop a free hug sign in front of you, it would just help create a little bit additional context. So be like, oh, okay, like this guy's actually like here because he's trying to spread love. He's trying to like spread the peace and stuff like that. And then they would give them an opportunity to just be like, oh, okay, dude, I love your dance moves. I'll take a hug. And man, that would happen. Like I guarantee you go out and do that.
Just that one small action. Yeah, just that one small action like makes that person's day. Now they're gonna go out and pass it forward.
Yes, yeah, exactly, man. That's the idea, right? Like that's what we talk about here in the project. Like as a shifter, for everyone here listening, again, for those of you who may just be tuning in, a shifter is the term that we use within the context of the Paradigm Shift Central project, the game. A shifter is someone who intentionally helps assist with the shift in consciousness through acts of creativity and compassion. So the creativity can be the art, the media, all of those things, and the compassion, like that can be the intention, the free hugs, the small talk, the conversations, the appreciation, the just like the compliments that you're sharing with people. So again, for everyone here, like we create these broadcasts to be able to invite you to amplify the story, to be able to not only challenge you to challenge yourself, yeah, but really just to be able to know that like this is something awesome that we're all a part of, and it is really making a difference, and it's all part of like this bigger collective momentum that's creating together. And it might seem like a very small thing, but one hug can go a very far way. One compliment can go a very far way, especially in today's day and age where there are some people where like that may be the first compliment they've gotten in like 6 months or something like that. As sad as that is, you can be that spark of light. You can be that spark of hope. You can be that guardian. You can be that pillar. It's a very, very, very powerful thing. And again, it helps you step into that purpose as well, right? Like that's the thing. Like when you find purpose in service, that's powerful, right? Like you're not just like going out there because you're trying to get attention. You're going out there because it's making a difference. And then you show up the next day and you're just like, fuck yeah, man. Like I'm a part of something. I'm a part of something bigger than myself. And I think that's the thing that more people need to be reminded of. They need to be connected to something that is bigger than themselves. And that's where what we're doing here. We're creating this story where you, the person listening to this, you are part of this. You are part of something bigger than yourself, and we are part of this together. So thank you again for being here. So awesome. Dude, Danny, man, thank you again for rocking it. We're going to segue into just like a little bit more chit chat with the team. I want to just be able to talk with everyone here and just open up the mics to be able to talk a little bit about, like what does it mean to like, just like be a leader in today's day and age. And then we'll kind of get close to wrapping it up and any other seeds that people want to plant in terms of simple things to help shift consciousness. But yeah, Danny, go ahead and just, again, mention where people can connect with you on your Instagram and any other just like wisdom and gratitude that you want to be able to share with people who are tuned into this.
Okay. Instagram is Danny Tyfereth. And let me think here. Yeah, just really, I often tell people if I were to die and if there was anything I would want to be quoted by, is that if you want to change the world and you want to make a difference, you want to make an impact, just focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Because what you do now will forever echo on into eternity.
Awesome.
And it's all about just leading by example.
Yes. Yeah. No, it really is. Like it really is, man. So yeah, no. Like and it doesn't mean you have to be perfect, right? It just means you have to be able to like have that intention to like grow and to learn, and we're doing it every day together. So awesome. Sweet. Danny, thank you again, man. I really appreciate you. And dude, like straight up, man, like I'm proud of you. Like I appreciate you and I'm proud of you, even just like in the moments that we were talking, right? Like do you remember that moment where you were just kind of like feeling you're just like, oh, like obstacle? Like what was that? But then it's just like you kind of like push through it and you're just like, oh yes, clarity. And the clarity comes from like the idea of like sharing your joy and kind of like reminding yourself to get out of that.
Totally.
So, yeah. Cool. Sweet. Awesome, man.
Thank you for helping me pull through that.
happy to be here to assist, man. Like again, like I love the idea of being able to be here along with you guys and like helping each of us step into our leadership role and our potential. And again, by me just being here talking to you guys and having that intention, it helps me as well, like continue to grow as a leader. And then other people see this and they're just like, wow, this is awesome. I want to be a part of this. This is a super badass team. These guys are like lit, these guys and girls. So we're mobbing it. Fam. Fam, yeah. Cool, sweet. All right, so let's just kind of open up the conversation. Either Brian or Tyler, I'll let you guys jump in as soon as you're ready. But again, you know, like we're gonna get close to wrapping up the broadcast within the next less than half hour. Let's talk a little bit more about, you know, like what does leadership mean in today's day and age, and why is that like such an important thing? And if we want to even just like move the conversation into some other stuff, that's totally cool. But you know, like why do we feel called? Why do we feel called to be leaders? And for me, again, you know, like this has kind of been the theme that's already been covered here within the broadcast. I firmly believe that there is a leader inside each and every one of us. And again, maybe being a leader isn't quite what we think it is. You know, we think it's kind of like a leader is a person who is like running a company, or a leader is a person who's like starting a revolution or something like that. But again, I think it's important for us to be leaders in today's day and age with specific intention, with specific purpose. And this was something that, again, I kind of talked about this before in another video, that if you're feeling like you may be kind of stuck where you are in your life, or you're feeling like there's those hard days, I want you to remind yourself of what your purpose is and what your higher purpose is, you know? So it's like, for us, it really is like this story of being able to understand that how we show up for our own growth is something that is going to allow others to be able to show up for their growth as well. It's going to allow others to be able to see themselves. And so, I mean, very simply put, through all my years like being a leader within the paradigm shift community, it has essentially been this process, and this is a very, very powerful idea, of being a mirror, being a sacred mirror for people to see themselves. Because a leader isn't necessarily always going to be someone who's going to tell someone exactly what to do, but in fact, they're going to help them reflect on the truth and the wisdom that they already have within themselves, by perhaps asking the right questions, or by perhaps, you know, just kind of like showing them something that maybe they hadn't really seen from quite a perspective. So when we work together as a team and as a community, as mirrors, we allow these reflections to bounce back and forth, and we allow ourselves to see more of who we can be. So again, I think a leader is the type of person that helps create other leaders. That's really what we need. And that happens when we allow people to see themselves through us. We allow, and this is a very, 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 very powerful idea. Allow people to see themselves in your story. That is like incredibly important, because there's a common narrative that is happening across the board with all of us. And, you know, you can kind of think of it as like the hero's journey. It is the solar hero archetype of this journey of kind of going from like forgetfulness to a call to action to awakening to purpose sort of thing. And so for us to be able to live our truth, to share our story, we're giving the opportunity for people to be able to see like, oh, like, that not only reminds me of myself, but it gives me hope because of the fact that it reminds me of myself, and because of the person has gone beyond the struggles. They have pushed through the dirt. They have grown out of the pavement. And so like that's like kind of like what the leader can be. Like the leader will be kind of like, you know, that thing that kind of like pushes through the pavement. You know, I think of like that little sprout pushing through the pavement. And then it kind of like yells back to the other seeds, and they're like, hey guys, like, it's okay. Like, we can do this. We made it. You can do this. And it's reminding people that they can, that they literally can. And another thing that just comes to mind is that, you know, why leaders are important in today's day and age, opposed to not having leaders, opposed to everyone just trying to do it by themselves, is that together we are climbing a mountain. And if you're climbing a mountain, very simply put, you know, let's say you're climbing Mount Everest. If you were to totally just be like, okay, like Mount Everest, like I got this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to climb this mountain all by myself. You're welcome to do that. But at the same time, that might not be the most effective idea, because there are going to be ways in which you will probably fall off the edge, in which you might take the wrong route, in which you might run into problems that you didn't expect. Whereas what is more preferable is to be able to seek the guidance of someone who has either already made it up the mountain or someone who has already like made it further than you up the mountain. And it's no competition and everyone's got their own way, but we as leaders need to be in that place where we can kind of like look back to people and be like, let me help you as a guide to be able to assist you in not making the same mistakes I did. So that way we can accelerate. And that's kind of like, that's the thing. As we get more leaders, and I'll pass it over here, and maybe if Brian or Tyler, if one of you guys wants to jump in, that's the power of leaders. Leaders, a good leader, when they look back and kind of reach back that hand for somebody else climbing up the mountain, it accelerates the rate in which we all grow, because it cancels out the fact of people making the same mistakes unnecessarily over and over and over again. Like, we kind of want to get to the stage where, especially as things are accelerating, where, you know, even for those who may be in the new process of awakening, not to say that they won't go through the challenges and the shadows and go through the healing, that's part of the game, but to be able to know how to be able to know how to practice mindfulness, to be able to have guidance on how to be able to develop simple skills and simple life habits. And this is where, you know, again, for all the people out there, like as a leader talking to you right now, I want to be able to remind you that the most effective things that you can do are often the simplest. For example, if you're trying to like get yourself into alignment, if you're trying to live your best life, then you need to focus on simple things such as your sleep, such as your diet, such as exercise, such as the amount of time that you're spending out in nature, such as the amount of time that you're spending making meaningful social connections, such as the amount of time that you're in the company of other people with shared purpose. These are the things you need to look for. Like, the answer to you having a better life is not just by like studying more about the law of attraction. You know, like some people, they get into this idea of like law of attraction. It's this very, very attractive thing. It's just like, wait, I can have anything I want. Like, okay, let's do this. But if they're not taking care of like your base needs and you're not able to kind of like show up, the law of attraction is like kind of secondary. And honestly, I have my own opinion about the law of attraction. I don't think the law of attraction works quite how we think it does. I'll just share this part real quick because I think this is really valuable. I think that the universe will constantly be giving us things, will constantly be bringing us things into our path. And what we actually need to do is think less about the idea of trying to attract what we want, but rather in being able to create like the ability to receive things as they come, and to be able to have the vision and the shift in our perception to be able to see things that we otherwise might have missed. So for example, like if you were to go into a coffee shop and you were to, you know, like just go in there and go get your coffee, and then out of the corner of your eye, you see someone who's like sitting at a table, and then your intuition guides you to be able to just be like, oh, like that person's like reading a cool book. I'm actually going to go up to them and just be like, hey man, like I was reading that book last week. That's a super awesome book. I love the fact that you're reading that. And then you might just be able to spark up a conversation with that person. And then you can be like, hey, that person can be like, hey, let's sit down, you know, let's chat a little bit longer. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I do this. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh my God, me too. Oh my God, there's this person who I know, Hey, do you want to work with me on this project that I'm developing? And maybe you can like hire me as like a client, like, and then suddenly, because of your ability to see and follow your intuition and have this sight, you're actually like opened up into a reality where maybe this is like a new client for you, or this is a new relationship, or maybe, hell, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your boyfriend. But if you're not fully in that state where you're kind of like, say for example, say you didn't take a cold shower, say you didn't exercise, say you're not in a really kind of like, you're in a kind of like a foggy headspace, maybe you've been just like smoking weed all day, you might go into that coffee place and you might just kind of be like, hey, can I have my coffee? Okay, here, $5. Okay, thanks. Okay, all right. And then you just walk out the door. Lo and behold, that reality was there waiting for you, but you just didn't see it. You just didn't act on it. So not to say the law of attraction is like totally disregarded or anything like that. I do think there's a lot of truth to being able to like align with the feeling of something before we have it. I think there is a lot of value in that. but I just want to be able to give you as a leader, to just be able to think about the things with the concept that the universe is constantly bringing things your way. Are you receiving them? Are there things that you're overlooking? Are there things that you're kind of like missing? And there's no judgment in that, but just bring that into your awareness. Bring yourself into more acuteness. Bring yourself into more presence within yourself, so that when those intuitions pop up and when those synchronicities begin to just kind of be like, begin to spark your mind and get your attention, you can act on them. And you'll actually have the courage to act on them. You'll have the confidence to act on them as well. So that's just kind of another little thing that I just wanted to be able to put out there. But again, going back to the idea of being leaders, I think that's a very powerful idea, that as leaders, we are helping people. We are helping accelerate things by helping people not make unnecessary mistakes over and over and over and over again. We are helping assist them. We are helping give them the guide up the mountain so that they can get up there faster and more effectively. So that's a little bit of what I feel being a leader is. And I want to be able to pass the talking stick around. Brian, Tyler, one of you guys want to go next? Share a little bit about what being a leader means to you. And hold on, Brian. No, okay, there we go. Okay, there was just a glitch in the system for a second. Okay, Brian, I'm bringing up your microphone now. Go ahead, and guys, we're gonna wrap this up in less than 20 minutes, so we're gonna wrap it up pretty shortly. But go ahead, Brian. Passing the talking stick over to you. Tell us what are your thoughts?
Well, to elaborate both on what Danny said originally, that you have to start within. You have to start with yourself. True leaders start with themselves, and they lead by example. They're not technically leading. They're just being the best versions of themselves. And then that attracts other things. And to hit on your points, it attracts things. You're right. The law of attraction is just a coined phrase to alliterate or to illuminate a broader spectrum of things. It's about aligning yourself and being aware and being conscious enough to spot out those little things. A leader is also someone that has unconditional love and compassion, that sees that person. I see that person's on the ground. I see that person's hurt. I'm not going to walk past that person. I'm not going to walk past that person with their head down. I'm going to go over. I'm going to give them a smile. I'm going to give them a hug. I'm going to cheer them up. I'm going to do something. I'm going to bring them a coffee. I'm going to do whatever it does to make them smile, to turn their day around. That's what leaders do. They change people's lives for the better. They lead them into better aspects and show them how to find the better aspects of themselves. And that's really all it is. It's not that a leader is any braver or smarter than anybody else. It's just that they have become attuned to it and they are accepted of themselves. And that's where it really begins, is they have accepted themselves, found who their true selves are, and aren't afraid to be that. So you're letting, so to speak, your weird light shine. So you attract all those other weirdos, all those other light people, and it brings it to you. And that dynamic draws people to you. People will want to follow you because they're like, man, I want to be like that guy. I want to do what he's doing. This guy's got it going on. He's together. This girl's got it going on. They got it together. That's how you lead. You're not even doing anything for people, really. You were just setting examples for them to do it, and then being there and being an ear for them to sound off on and help them not fall into the same pitfalls you've fallen into, and help pass that. Don't let them fall off the mountain. Don't say, hey man, you go over that bump right there. It's a dead end, or it's a cliff, and you're gonna fall down and you're gonna have to start back over. Why don't you go around this way? Here, let me show you a way. Take my hand. We'll walk up together, and I'll get you back on a good track.
Totally, man. Yeah, no, I think that's beautiful, man. I love what you were hitting upon there about the idea of like a leader is someone with passion and with compassion and with patience and with passion as well. I think patience is an incredibly important virtue of a leader. You know, like even when you just think about the idea of like a baby, if you're like leading a baby to walk, You don't get mad at the baby when it falls. You're just like, oh, like, okay, like, keep trying, keep trying. You're like, you can do this. Like, you encourage them. And think about that. Think about like the idea of what it feels like to have someone encouraging you, what it feels like to have someone checking in with you and holding you accountable and just having someone to be able to talk to. That's an incredibly, incredibly valuable thing, to just be able to have someone to just be able to be like, hey, like, maybe I'm having a hard day today, and I just want to let you know that even though I'm having a hard day today, I'm going to follow your instructions, and I'm going to go get some exercise and some fresh air, and I'm going to go for a walk, and I'm going to do my best to like move through this type thing. Just having someone to just kind of like verbalize that to, as a friend, as a leader, like that's, as a coach, that's super, super awesome. So yeah, I think as leaders, we want to have that patience. We want to understand that everyone's exactly where they need to be at their point in their journey, and to just be able to like meet them in a way that works with where they are. Like, we kind of, as a leader, it's also being able to shapeshift ourselves to be able to match what the person needs. So like, if I'm like talking to like a 13-year-old kid, I would talk to them differently if I was talking to like a 33-year-old friend or something like that. You meet them in a way that they can comprehend, so you're kind of adjusting your language, and that's a skill, that's something that's developed over time. So, but yeah, let's chit chat a little bit more. Tyler, did you want to just like practice sharing some thoughts on what being a leader means to you, or what comes to mind? If you'd like to, please go right ahead.
Definitely. Thank you. Um, I mean, I really like what Brian said. It starts with you, and from there branches out through compassion, understanding. Um, I've seen it myself, like what you just mentioned with the 13-year-old. I find that to be the age where they can start to actually, kind of get this stuff a little bit, at least energetically, because that's the time of that is just the most confusing time, right? So from what I've seen, and these are also children with, certain, you know, I hate to say mental disorders. I think it's energetic blockages that could be, I don't know, I have a big problem with big pharma. So that's a whole nother topic. But I think a lot of these diagnoses are, just kind of overlooked at, uh, or just actually they're taken down to a macro level instead of the, um, individually what is going on in that kid's life. We all learn very differently as well. So I feel like a leader has to be aware of, you know, different learning styles, how to connect through many different groups. Part of my journey has been about meeting people halfway. That's been a big thing for me. Um, Kind of being a middle child. I'm a firstborn biologically, but I had older stepbrothers and stuff, so I've had to play that mediator role before, and that has been really helpful with just bringing people to kind of understanding. Like, so let's say, for example, I like to stay kind of more plant based in my diet, right? But I live with someone who's, he's my best friend. And he eats meat, but he kind of gets it. Like, we kind of talk about it. I'm not like holding my pitchfork out and I'm just ready to save the world overnight with that. You know what I mean? But that has given me a lot of practice as well. And being a leader there is patience. You know. So let's see. I got him down to eating maybe only twice a week now. You know what I mean? And this isn't like psycho, like hypnotic stuff or anything like that. It's just conversation and compassion, just like Brian said. And Danny had some very good points there as well. And I just want to highlight Danny's magic that happened that you pointed out, Senor Wolf. Like, oh my gosh, that was awesome. I was just there. I wish you could hear me. I was laughing as well, like through some of the good times. Like, I felt like a mime, like a silent mime with the mute on. Just like quietly just dying and just
Yuck.
totally understanding how you feel, man. So definitely, great points. I kind of forgot to mention this as well. Um, I don't know if it's qigong just yet, but I have gotten some healings as well like that. I think I was telling you, Brennan, about that. But I'm also looking into some energy healing work as well. So I can't wait to collab with Brian here.
Awesome.
That'll be awesome.
Awesome, man.
And part of that for you, Danny, it would be also integrating that grounding. I would say I'm the other way, I'm more naturally grounded, and I've had to work my way up through these points, and that's like a totally inverse universe challenge there. But man, I hope I can bring some good energy, and like it's cool. What I've learned is that the grounding process actually goes way beyond your feet, and you're already dancing, so it's like your body and mind is and spirit is asking you to ground to this earth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you are welcome here on this earth, and your body is just asking you to just keep pounding those feet into the floor and just, you know, ground. And it's happening. We're here. We're all here, right? Like Brendan was saying,
Danny,
unite.
go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Yeah. Just
Yo,
get
yo,
some
yo.
gratitude going back and forth there.
Hell yeah, man, Tyler. Thank you so much. That totally means the world to me. Like I'm feeling the love for sure.
Awesome, man.
Awesome, man. Sweet, beautiful, cool. Well, one of the things I just want to give a quick shout out in the chat. We've got a lot of activity in the chat, and again, we got people on Facebook and people on YouTube as well. One of the things that came up, shout out to Star Witch, shout out to everybody in the chat. I'll just give a quick shout out to Journey of Ascension, Devon. I'm not sure if anybody else new is in there quite yet who I missed. Oh, Danny, you're in the chat. Cool. Arita, shout out to Arita. But Star Witch was just saying is that, I think being a good leader is keeping in mind that we're all students, and absolutely that's true, right? Like, yeah. I think the worst type of leader you can be is the leader that's just like my way or the highway, arrogant, pompous, and stuff like that. And we've seen that. We've seen what that looked like. So again, I think the true leader is the one that's very like humble and adaptive and learning, yet still confident given their experience, so we're gonna get close to moving towards the end here, but Danny, any other thoughts on like what does being
leadership?
A good leader mean to you, right. and so, how do you see yourself as a leader, or anything else you want to share?
Well, to me, a leader is a person of influence. It's a person who has mastered their craft and who knows what they're doing and isn't afraid to take charge and lead not even one person or an entire organization of people to a common goal. It's somebody who has been in the trenches, like all these chief or warlords on the battlefield. Why are they in charge of an entire unit? Because they have been through the trenches. They have started from scratch and they have scratched their way to the top. And now this person, with great power comes great responsibility. And this person, a leader is somebody you can trust with your life, essentially. Otherwise, you don't want to follow them, do you? So it's somebody who offers guidance and, also meets somebody where they're at. And yeah, I mean,
yeah, no, I think that's it. And
just a very highly influential and effective person, somebody who's mastered their craft and is not afraid to teach others.
Yeah, and again, like for all of us listening to this, as we continue to grow as leaders, I really encourage everyone here to really get into the habit of like, how can we become better leaders? Not only by like opening ourselves to new experience, but also by like studying, by researching, and by learning from other leaders. Like, if you're reading a book, that person is probably an expert on that topic, right? So like, that's a leader. So you're able to kind of like get the information from that, integrate it, and then be like, oh, okay, sweet. How can I kind of begin to pass this on and stuff? It's amazing that, holographically within this reality, we have the ability to kind of like literally share minds, to share this like data between the language that we're passing back and forth with each other. So I mean, if you're looking to be a good leader, read books. Read books and learn from other people who are leaders in their own ways. Like, and listen to other inspirational teachers and everything like that. Listen to people like Tony Robbins, listen to people like Joe Dispenza, listen to people like Nathaniel Solis coming up on the broadcast in a couple weeks, and everyone again, so it's like
Simon Sinek.
There's so many leaders. And again, and I think
Carnegie.
And I think what's interesting, and just to kind of, get close to wrapping it up here, is that the age that we're in, like, there's different types of leaders, and what we need are like conscious leaders, mindful leaders, because you use the term, the idea of like influencers, and we've heard that term before. So I think in today's day and age, we're seeing this where there actually is a plethora of leaders, but some of them aren't necessarily leading people in the best direction. So we have to be
Republicans.
We don't even get me started, because I don't even know what to talk about because I don't pay attention to politics. But anyways, just think about that. Like, how many people who are quote unquote influencers on Instagram who have like all of these impressionable people paying attention to them are actually leading people in ways that aren't healthy, are actually not leading by a good example and stuff like that, So I mean, as a leader, you are accountable. You are accountable for how people see you and for how people enact what it is that you're teaching them. So again, if you're just like a leader and you're just like, oh, hey, like it's okay to like swear at your mother or something like that, then there's going to be like a bunch of like 13-year-olds that are going to start swearing at their mother. And suddenly like that's partly your responsibility, right? So it's like, for us, within the context of the Paradigm Shift Central project, again, we're creating a container here to help foster leaders, to help bring forth the leader within us. We want to be the leaders that are encouraging people to like express their creativity, to act out of their compassion, to act in their inspiration, to do things like free hugs, to be able to create art with intention and meaning, to be able to constantly like work on themselves, to encourage people to be the leader who they are. Because essentially, like, this is the age that we're in, where we literally are leaders helping leaders helping leaders, coaches helping coaches helping coaches. And that's a very, very powerful thing. So again, for everybody here who is listening to this broadcast, I want you to start thinking about the idea of how you are a leader. And maybe you haven't really thought about that much. Maybe it's like something where it's like, me, a leader? Like, my goodness, like that sounds scary. That sounds like a title that means something bigger than I can imagine. But you are. And you have the potential to be more than you may be even aware of. And when you kind of begin to kind of just start living into that story, you can also allow it to be something that kind of gives you a little bit more direction with your purpose. And it may not be something where it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I'm a leader now and everything's clear. It may just be something where it's like, where do I see myself in a year from now? Where do I see myself in 6 months from now? Where do I see the impact that I'm making in my group of friends, in my family, in my local community, in my online community? How am I leading? So very simply put, bringing it back to intention. Intentionality and integrity are the core ingredients for a good leader. And so I really invite people here to really just like work on that. Bring that into their hearts. The path of being a leader is one that invites you into your integrity. It invites you into your intention. And so from there, like, things will begin to show up for you. You will be tested, yet you will also be called in to that leadership. And it will look different in many different ways. It may be, like being the leader for a class assignment at school. It may be, like doing free hugs. It may be dancing on a street corner or something like that, right? So yeah, Danny, give us a little bit of tut action. Go ahead, Danny.
Oh yeah.
As I'm talking here. That's, man, it's mad skills, man. I tells you. So cool. But yes. So again, I just want to be able to thank everyone for tuning into this broadcast. And again, knowing that like just us putting out this message, putting out this signal is a way for just the shift to go even further, for us to be able to help change the narrative that we are living, to know that each and every one of us can make a difference and is making a difference, literally by working on yourself. And again, bring it back to the simple things. Seriously, like, start ending your showers cold. I challenge you to challenge yourself. Start ending your showers cold just very quickly. If you're just like, why? The idea behind that is to be able to get into the mindset of moving through obstacles with courage and intention. If you can take a cold shower and put yourself through that discomfort, then you can go through the rest of your day and kick ass regardless of what comes your way. If you can put yourself in those places of intentional challenge and discomfort, then when the other challenges come up, you'll be like Neo from the Matrix, and you'll be in this Zen Wu Wei kind of Shaolin state where you'll be able to just move with much more grace. So again, taking cold, ending your showers cold. That's one way to be able to help step into your own self-mastery. Getting better sleep. Not falling asleep looking at your phone. Put your phone on airplane mode, put it off to the side, you know, waking up and journaling, like doing dream journaling if you're already involved with that. Cultivating your sexual energy, not watching pornography, or just like becoming more aware of how your addictions are playing a part in your life, and then finding ways to be able to practice your temperance, meaning practicing like either just cutting them out as much as you can or just saving them for later sort of thing. So like maybe you still want to have like that little spliff, but maybe you can move it afterwards. You've completed your things and you've earned it, and you give yourself a little bit of a reward. So you can kind of like change the narrative in the way of like using it as something that actually inspires you opposed to controlling you. And again, just simple things. Gratification, exactly. And again, just diet. Pay attention to your diet. Your diet is your fuel. If you're feeling like, oh, I'm just like not inspired, get good food into you. Like invest in good food, because that's going to help you feel better so that you can feel better about taking action as well. And again, really encouraging you to just like, you know, do something that you've never done before. Think about the idea of like what it is that you want. Like maybe you want to find other people in your community. Maybe like that's something really important to you that you don't have that. Know that you can do that. Know that within this project, that's why we're constantly encouraging people to do things like free hugs and create paradigm shift communities. Again, paradigm shift communities, very simply put, are regular open-minded discussion and meditation circles, and you host them and you invite people in and you bring them into this space and you facilitate. And maybe you're doing it with a group of friends, but when you do this, it creates a very powerful container where you find other like-hearted and like-minded individuals, and then this develops like a very powerful tribe of accountability, and then you all help hold each other up to this virtue. So one of the things, if you're looking to be able to step into your mastery, surround yourself with tribe. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So again, just wrapping it up on this, thanking everyone so much for being a part of this broadcast. We're going to do a little meditation near the end. I just want to be able to remind people that they can check out more at paradigmshiftcentral.com. If you're listening to this broadcast and you're just like, hey, like, this is fucking awesome. Like, I don't like, maybe this is your first time watching this. Like, where have these guys even come from? You know, guys and girls, there's more people on the team. They're just not here in the broadcast. And if you want to connect further, and if you feel you would be a good fit for the team, meaning that you're interested in leveling yourself up as a shifter, stepping into that embodiment, you're passionate about shifting consciousness, you want to be able to help create community where you are, you want to be able to help learn how to create conscious media, maybe you're already an entrepreneur, you want to be able to work alongside with a team, you want to be able to talk about like metaphysics and practice your dream recall and all of those awesome things that we do here in the team, go to paradigmshiftcentral.com and follow the signal to apply for your shifter pass. And keep in mind that the shifter pass is like a monthly membership thing where it's a paying what you wish scale between $10 and $100. And honestly, that's totally scalable. If you want to be a part of that and you feel you're a good fit, you'll find a way to be able to manifest $10. Like, it's totally doable, and that supports the team. And honestly, you putting in the contribution is a way to put your skin in the game so you'll actually show up. If I were to just constantly give you guys everything for free, you'd probably just be like, it's for free. But if you're like actually investing yourself energetically with money, you'll be like, okay, I'm paying for this. I'm going to show up. I'm going to like take part in this. I'm going to get the value out of this. So it's an investment for yourself. So go to paradigmshiftcentral.com, follow the signal if you feel you'd be a good fit for that. Keep in mind, we are only bringing in a limited amount of people for the time being. So if you don't hear back from us right away, don't take it personally. Just know that we're only allowing a certain amount of people in right away. And if you do just want to be able to support in a general way, be sure to support on Patreon. That does help the project continue to grow. It allows, you know, again, like as a facilitator of it, yes, this is my full-time devotion, my full-time job, and it allows us to be able to do even more for the team. Just a little bit of like manifestation as an entrepreneur. Part of what I'm doing, I'm working on like manifesting an income of $3,000 a month for myself. And part of that is actually to be able to manifest getting a new apartment for myself that's also going to be a studio. So again, if you're just like, fuck yeah, I want Brendan to be able to get an apartment for himself. And the apartment, if I'm getting this one, it's actually an apartment that's on Wolf Street. Like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So like, seriously, like like, it was crazy. I was like talking about this, and then my friend was like, hey dude, like, you know, like I actually have an opening in my apartment. I'm like, oh, where is it? Oh, it's on Wolf Street. I'm just like, okay, that gives me something to work towards. So that's something I'm working towards. And again, like that happens when I am in the vibration of like feeling my wealth and knowing the value that I offer to community. And so not only can you support through Patreon, and again, you can sign up for the $30 a month and get in for the raffle for the lightsaber draw if you want that option. But if you want to go even deeper, I want to be able to offer you something very exclusive and very special in the coming future. I'm actually going to be offering private monthly coaching for just a small handful of people, and this would be like a little bit more like investment from you, because it would be something where I'd be working with you for a month, and it would give you the chance to be able to check in with me, to be able to just be able to like schedule one-on-ones, to be able to talk about your intentions, to be able to get you where you want to be. I'm looking for people who are also interested in being a part of the core team as well. So if that's like something that really resonates with you and you want to be able to make that investment while also supporting the team, and it's an investment for yourself, if you're like, fuck yeah, I want to step into my leadership, I want to level up within this game, send me a message. And you can do that by contacting me on Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man and on Facebook. Again, there's only going to be a space for literally just like 4 or 5 people. So let me know if that's something that interests you. And yeah, we can talk about that and we'll see if it's a good fit for you. And yeah, we'll go from there. So again, thank you everyone so much for watching this. If you haven't yet, go check out more at ParadigmShiftCentral.com. Jump into the Nexus, explore lots of stuff on there. Follow me at Mystic Spider-Man on Instagram, Skull Babylon on YouTube. Lots of other content to be able to explore. And yeah, if you want to apply for your shifter class, by all means, please feel free. We're building a fucking badass, kick-ass team here, and I look forward to being able to bring you the next team roundtable, which will be in 4 weeks from now. Next week, we got Ben Switzer coming up, Neurohacker. Stay tuned for that one. And then after that, we got Dream Class, all about dream exploration. So if you want to get into the core team leading up to Dream Class, now's a great time to do it. And after that, we're going to have another Leading the Shift broadcast with our friend Nathaniel Solis, who's going to teach you even more about self-mastery as well. So we're bringing you lots of awesome value. And again, we're doing it because we want you to be able to activate. This world needs more leaders, and that's why we're putting out this content. That's why we're creating this context. That's why we're inviting you to be a part of this real world interactive game to help shift consciousness. So thank you for playing, and thank you for leveling up. So guys, let's just kind of like get close to wrapping it up. I want to just be able to invite each of you here to just express any gratitude and final closing thoughts. And then we're just going to end with a very short meditation, and then we'll conclude the broadcast. So passing it over, Danny, let's just go to Danny if you want to go first, and just sharing any, just like, again, just expressing gratitude for the listeners and gratitude for the team, and anything else you would like to share. Please feel free.
Well, like, to be honest, I feel incredibly spoiled just to have been given this synchronistic opportunity to be a part of a team like this, and to have met you over social media just by being a weirdo online and everything, you know? So, and it just goes to show, by when you're being yourself, you will attract your soul tribe to you. And it's not, you don't have to go searching for them. They'll come to you. Just be yourself. So much love, much light to you all. Namaste.
Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, Danny. And again, you know, I'm just super excited to continuously grow together as a team. So looking forward to collaborating and creating some more awesome stuff together. All right.
Me too.
Tyler, Brian, who wants to say something next? Brian or Tyler? First one to unmute themselves. Tyler? Okay. Tyler, then Brian. As you guys unmute yourself at the same time. Typical. God, you guys are so damn polite.
Rock, paper, scissors. All right, rock, papers.
Does that work?
Okay.
I don't know. Go, Tyler.
Yeah, I don't know. That might not work, actually. But I'm just very thankful for being here as well. I share that same gratitude as Danny. You know, that synchronicity of us kind of just meeting up. I think it's in divine order, you know, if you want to call it that. You know, I feel like wherever we've been before this moment has been leading up to this. If this is a roundtable to inspire leadership around the world to shift consciousness, then this is the right spot. And I feel just eternally grateful to you, Mystic Spider-Man. You know, you welcomed us here, and I hope we can achieve this common dream together.
And so it is. And so it is.
And so it begins.
And so it begins. It has begun. Mortal Kombat. Dun, dun,
Exactly.
dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
that's
dun.
good.
Basically.
Good one there.
Basically. So.
Finish him.
Halcyon on and on. All right. Thank you, Tyler. Again, it's been an honor just being able to recently connect with you, and I'm happy to be able to have you on board, man. You're an awesome leader, and I mean, everyone here is an awesome person in their own way. And dude, thank you again for rocking it. So cool.
Thank you.
All right, Brian, passing the talking stick over to you, man. Go ahead.
Cool. Just want to be thankful and grateful for this opportunity to speak to all of you, to come together with this brotherhood, with you guys, to meet you guys, all the brothers and sisters online watching this. Shout outs and love to all of you. Just remember, your body is a temple. You wouldn't treat your temple, you wouldn't treat your home like garbage, you wouldn't leave it in disarray. Don't leave your body in disarray. And everything is energy, including money. If you want that energy to flow, you got to open yourself up to it and allow it to flow through you. You block it, you're going to block yourself all over. So just allow it to be free and just be calm. Don't be, when you stress on it, you're creating blocks for yourself. So just allow things to manifest, and know when you're in the flow, things are going to happen, because that's exactly how I got here. I was in the flow, and I'd seen some posts from the Spider-Man here, and I was like, man, this guy's pretty sweet, man. I like what he's doing here. I like he's going out there giving hugs, making people smile. And then we connected, and he's like, hey, I got this awesome group, man. And I'm like, the rest is history. And here we are talking to you guys and telling you guys how to become better versions and better leaders and help the world. So, much love to all of you. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I'm very grateful to meet all of you. I look forward to collaborating and speaking more with all of you and just creating a better world, man.
Awesome. Sweet. Thank you, man. As I'm literally sitting here sipping my Spider-Man cup.
Yeah. You gotta get that plug in.
Yeah,
you gotta
man.
get that.
Too much. I don't know. Well, at least I'm not wearing my Spider-Man shirt while drinking my Spider-Man mug. I don't want to overdo it, guys. Jeez. Anyways. But I do have my Peter Parker glasses on, I guess. I don't know. No, these are my Wolf Shield glasses, so cool. I'm not trying to be Peter Parker. I'm actually like my own version of Spider-Man. So like I am Brendan as Mystic Spider-Man. You know how like in Into the Spider-Verse there's all these different spiders and stuff like that, and then like I'm actually like the Spider-Man that happens to be in our Spider-Verse or something. It's crazy when you think about it. Man, when I watched that movie, I practically cried. I was like, this is too real, man. Anyways, we'll talk more about that another time. Stay tuned for more Mystic Spider-Man videos. I do got a lot more to be able to share with you guys. And yeah, be sure to connect with me on Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man. And again, be sure to send me a DM there if you're just looking to get in touch and if you have any questions and you need any links. I look forward to being able to connect with each and every one of you who is tuned into this broadcast. And again, just thanking so much for being here. Let's take a moment to close off this meditation just by close off this broadcast with a quick meditation. Close off this meditation by constantly dancing. Let's just dance our way out of this broadcast. Yeah. Let's just tut our way out of the broadcast. Yeah. Cool. All right, I'm just gonna bring the audio down on your guys' end, and let's just kind of close things off with a little bit of chill. I'm gonna turn the light down a little bit. So again, I want to be able to do something very, very simple yet very, very powerful for everyone who's here. I want to be able to remind you something incredibly important. So let's all just allow ourselves to close our eyes, relax. Straighten up her spine, relax the face, connecting with your breath. Gentle inhales, and gentle exhales. Allow yourself to feel the interface between the inhale and the exhale, like the water rolling up on the beach and slowly rolling out. And so as you continue forward on your mission, I want you to be able to be reminded of the incredible intelligence that your body, that your being already has. Do you think about beating your own heart? No, you do not. Do you think about digesting your own food? No, you do not. Your lungs will breathe even without you being aware of them. Your body has the ability to move itself. Your body has the ability to take care of itself. And so when we allow ourselves to become more in tune with this truth, to shift out of old stories, to drop into the clarity of our hearts, we can be reminded that simply by being present, that we will be guided, that there is an incredible intelligence inside of us. Call it consciousness, call it spirit, call it soul. It moves you. It moves through you. And so think about all the things that you were inspired by on this broadcast. Think about how it is calling you into more of your purpose. And at the same time, trust and know and feel confident in the fact that your body will guide you to where you want to go. Breathe into this. Breathe into this knowing. Allow yourself to just embody an incredible amount of serenity, releasing any worry, breathing in trust, breathing in excitement. And so knowing that you can literally move through anything, what will you move into? Will you create that piece of art that you've been wanting to create? Will you manifest that business that you're building? Will you align with the tribe that you're seeking? Choose what it is that you want. Point yourself in the direction of your choice. And then trust in the process that the intelligence of your soul, that the intelligence of your spirit will move you to it. Continue to breathe into your heart here. And as we conclude this meditation, I want us to go back to the meditation we started off with. I want you to see all of us standing in a circle right now. And I want you to see a flame lit at the center of the circle, at the center of this round table. And I want you to be reminded of the flame that each of us carries in our heart. The flame at the center of this circle represents the shared purpose and the shared passion that each of us has. Many candles, one flame. As you look around this circle, you see this flame in the heart of each and every one of us. You feel this flame in your heart, inspiring you, shining its way through any darkness, illuminating the shadow, inspiring others, lighting more candles along the way. So just take a moment here to express your gratitude for those in the circle, for those who you see, for those on this path. And from here, I want you to imagine us going back to where we were, the meditation when we started this broadcast. And if you weren't here at the beginning, that's okay. But imagine yourself, imagine all of us in this circle, basically floating above the surface of water. And slowly, I want you to begin to imagine each of us lowering ourselves into the water as we turn back into the ocean. as we connect internally with the knowing that on a primordial level, on a perennial level, we are this ocean. And so allow yourselves to be returned to this ocean. Allow yourself to be reminded that the me speaking is the you listening. And allow that truth to really just resonate. Allow it to remind you. Allow it to inspire you. So just take a few more breaths here. Put your hands on your heart if you want to. Let us dance with the ocean. Let us continue to create waves. Close off this meditation just by expressing gratitude for yourself and gratitude for the team, gratitude for your loved ones. Just speak it into your own heart. Thank yourself for all that you have done, for all that you are, for showing up in this moment, and for all that you are stepping into. For anchoring in the future that we are creating together. The light you shine is the light we are. Drop within an ocean, ocean within a drop. Take a couple more breaths here. Feel this serenity. Carry it with you beyond this moment and let it inspire you. The shared purpose of the tribe, the shared courage of a team. Slowly, when you're ready, conclude this meditation with any deep exhales you want to do. Noticeable exhales with a sigh, letting out your oxygen from your lungs. Lifting up your spine, straightening yourself up. Releasing your hands from your heart, shaking your hands, rolling your shoulders, and when you're ready, gently opening up your eyes. Returning back to this holographic matrix that you never actually left. So here we are, once again, right back where we started. Yet somewhere different, somewhere slightly new. The reality we are in now is just slightly different from the reality it was at the beginning of this broadcast. We have jumped into another reality or something like that. So quantum stuff, man. Cool. Awesome. How was that, guys? Feeling, how you guys, how's everybody feeling right now? That's my question for you. How's everybody feeling? Feeling lit. The flame is lit. The beacons of Gondor are lit. Seriously, right? It's a good metaphor. Cool. Awesome. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for being a part of this broadcast. My name is Brendan, aka The Mystic Spider-Man. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man. Subscribe at youtube.com/SkullBabylon. Support at patreon.com/Brendan Colton. All the links are in the info for this video, even if you're on Facebook. And be sure to check out more at ParadigmShiftCentral.com and apply for your Shifter Pass if you would like to be able to connect deeper with the game. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here. And as always, keep it shifty. And until next time, we will see you in the future. Ooh. Join me in saying farewell and good night, everyone. Make some noise.
Meow, meow, meow.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys again so much. Much love. And as always, yeah, we love you guys. All right. I'll see you guys in the Discord chat. The party's still going. Thank you again, YouTube family. Be sure to rate us on iTunes, Paradigm Shift Radio. Oh, God. Forgot about that. That's cool. All right. Wrapping this up. Thanks again. Much love, everyone.